Welcome back to the channel, Eagles fans, where we break down everything happening with the team, the players, and all the latest updates. Today, we have a lot to cover, and honestly, it's been an eventful period for the Eagles. We're seeing some interesting shifts, unexpected situations, and plenty of drama that could affect the playoff run. So let's get right into it. One of the biggest stories right now revolves around ROSEMAN and his potential return to Philadelphia. It's clear that Slay has his heart set on playing for the Eagles again. He made it obvious that, while the Bills put in a claim to pick him up, he's not exactly thrilled about heading to Buffalo. From what we've seen, he's contemplating retirement instead of going upstate to a team where he doesn't feel at home. Philadelphia, on the other hand, is familiar territory. Slay knows the system, he's comfortable in the city, probably has a home nearby, and has played at a high level under systems similar to what the Eagles employ. There's a sense that he might even regret signing with the Steelers initially, thinking back that maybe it would have been better to stay in Philly. Even if it meant taking a bit less, for the Eagles, putting in a claim was the right move. And it signals a chance that he could return to where he belongs, giving the team a significant boost both on the field and in the locker room. It's a situation to keep a close eye on, because if Slay decides to come back, the defensive secondary immediately gains a seasoned veteran who knows how to perform at a high level. If not, well, he goes out on top with his accomplishments, and the Eagles will just need to move on and adjust, shifting gears. Another major topic is Jalen Carter and his current injury situation. Carter's shoulders have been a serious concern, and it's clear that he won't be suiting up for the next games. He's had to deal with some intense criticism lately, but when you consider the severity of the injury, it's understandable why his performance has been impacted. Carter himself has acknowledged the issue, taking responsibility where necessary, but also pointing out that adjustments were made to protect both his health and the team's efficiency. The Eagles are keeping him off injured reserve for now, likely because they want him close to 100% heading into the playoffs. The timing is crucial, especially with the Cowboys losing recently, which opens up some opportunities in the division race. The team is hoping he recovers fully because his presence is vital for the defensive line's effectiveness. Alongside Carter, there are a few other names on the injury report. Lane Johnson is expected back soon after dealing with an issue that hasn't required injured reserve. Zach Bonds is managing a hand injury, while Jad Dobson is dealing with a toe problem. Isaiah Gibson continues to struggle with his shoulder, and Jalen Phillips has been through the concussion protocol, so monitoring his progress is critical. Marcus and Miles Hinton have been full participants in practice, which is a positive sign for depth and rotation. It's a mix of good news and cautious optimism, but the main takeaway is that Carter's absence will force other players to step up. Which brings us to another intriguing story, Ty Robinson. Ty Robinson has been on the roster for a little while, and expectations for him were high coming in, especially considering his draft position in the 3rd or 4th round. His early involvement has been limited, sometimes even sitting out games entirely despite being healthy. However, with Carter sidelined, Robinson now has a real opportunity to prove himself on the field. This is where the Eagles will be watching closely to see if he can make an impact. It's one thing to be athletically gifted, but the NFL requires more than raw talent. Skill development, understanding assignments, and executing consistently under pressure are what separate good athletes from true professionals. In this league, Robinson's snaps over the next few games could be pivotal in determining whether he's ready to take the next step, or if more development is needed. The coaching staff will be evaluating his ability to handle the speed and complexity of NFL competition, and fans will be eager to see flashes of his potential. It's the kind of opportunity that can define a young player's trajectory, and given the current injuries, the timing couldn't be more critical. If Robinson can step up, it fills a vital gap and gives the Eagles depth and versatility on the defensive line heading into the crucial stretch of the season. Meanwhile, attention has also been on the offense, particularly Jalen Hurts and the discussions around his approach to running the ball. There's been some criticism suggesting he's less inclined to run this season, but the reality is far more nuanced. Hurts has consistently focused on doing whatever it takes to win and executing the game plan set for each week. It's not about personal stats, it's about team efficiency. The running game, influenced heavily by the offensive line's performance, plays a huge role in what fans and analysts perceive. Issues in blocking, scheme execution, and adjustments to defenses all affect the ground game. And Hurts remains committed to his leadership role regardless of individual criticism. He has had games where his passing performance was exceptional, often compensating for challenges in the run game. Yet, despite what the media narrative may suggest, Hurts' dedication and consistency are evident. Fans watching closely understand that blaming one player for team shortcomings oversimplifies complex dynamics. Hurts is still leading, still playing at a high level, and still making critical decisions under pressure. The combination of his skill, mindset, and the way he handles adversity is exactly what the Eagles need as they approach the most decisive part of the season. Finally, we can't overlook the potential changes in the playbook that have been hinted at by the coaching staff. While the current narrative might seem repetitive week to week, with minor adjustments and blocked plays being discussed, there's a sense that strategic evolution is on the horizon. Execution up front remains the core of success, but new elements could emerge to maximize the talents of players like Saquon Barkley and optimize overall offensive efficiency. Barkley's attitude and energy on the field provide a boost to teammates, keeping morale high even during challenging situations. His ability to maintain positivity in tough conditions, rain or shine, motivates the entire squad. If the Eagles can combine improved execution, smarter schemes, and the right mindset from their star players, they have a legitimate chance to leverage recent losses by competitors, stretch out in the NFC East standings, and aim for the top seed. It's a combination of talent, opportunity, and adjustments that could make the difference between a good season and a championship run. Watching how the Eagles respond over the coming weeks, how new players step up, and how injured stars return will define whether they can fully capitalize on their potential. The team has the pieces. Now it's a matter of bringing everything together, staying disciplined, and proving that the talent on paper can translate into success on the field. Continuing from where we left off, another aspect to watch closely is the impact of the Eagles' offensive line and how it's influencing both the running game and overall offensive rhythm. There's no denying that blocking consistency has been a concern, and it's been one of the reasons that some of the narrative around Jalen Hurts has skewed unfairly. The offensive line has had moments of brilliance, but also stretches where communication and execution falter. When you combine that with defensive schemes designed to disrupt backfield timing, it puts extra pressure on Hurts and the running backs. Saquon Barkley, for example, has been a force when given space and proper lanes, but without consistent protection and blocking, even the most talented running backs will struggle to find rhythm. Hurts has done his part to adjust on the fly, reading defenses, and making quick decisions to maximize yardage. His ability to adapt in real time is one of the reasons the Eagles can stay competitive even when the line is having a rough stretch. The coaching staff has acknowledged these issues, and there's been talk about tweaking the playbook to better utilize the personnel and minimize weaknesses. It's clear that some of the changes involve a more creative use of motion, misdirection, and situational play calling to open up opportunities for both Hurts and Barkley in past games. We've seen how a slight shift in formation or timing can create explosive plays, and the hope is that with strategic adjustments, those instances become more frequent and less reliant on individual improvisation. The key will be consistency, both in preparation and execution, because the margin for error in playoff contention is extremely small. Every misstep, missed assignment, or slow recognition can have cascading effects on the entire offense, and the Eagles are aware that they need to tighten up in these areas to maximize their chances of success. Defensively, the Eagles have also faced challenges beyond the injuries. Matchups against dynamic offenses have tested the secondary, linebackers, and defensive line rotation. With Jalen Carter sidelined, it puts more emphasis on depth players like Ty Robinson to step in and maintain pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Robinson's performance will be closely scrutinized over the coming weeks. He has the athletic tools to make a difference, but translating that raw talent into consistent NFL production requires understanding angles, timing, and leverage in live game scenarios. If he can demonstrate flashes of the skill sets seen in practice, it could solidify his role and provide the team with a reliable rotational option. Meanwhile, veterans like Brandon Graham continue to provide leadership, ensuring that younger players understand the expectations and maintain the intensity required to compete at a high level. Special teams and situational performance have also become crucial talking points. Field position, Turnovers and defensive stops in critical moments can shift the momentum of games. And the Eagles have been proactive in analyzing how these elements impact their success. It's not just about executing scheduled plays, it's about situational awareness, communication across the squad, and maintaining energy through the final whistle. Saquon Barkley's presence, leadership, and attitude have been instrumental in this regard, serving as a catalyst for maintaining morale even when adversity strikes. His ability to keep the locker room positive, motivate teammates during rainy or challenging conditions, and contribute at a high level on every down underscores the intangible factors that often determine playoff success. Looking ahead, the opportunity for the Eagles is significant. The NFC East is tightly contested, and with the Cowboys losing recently, the door has opened for Philadelphia to make a push toward the top of the division. Capitalizing on these opportunities requires a combination of healthy players, strategic adjustments, and execution that reflects the team's talent level. Injuries will continue to play a role, but the ability of younger players like Ty Robinson to step in and contribute, along with veterans maintaining high performance, will determine the team's trajectory. Jalen Hurts remains central to the offense, balancing leadership responsibilities within game decision-making, and his approach will continue to influence both the perception and reality of the team's success. The narrative around media criticism has been particularly interesting. Hurts has been consistent in stating that he focuses on team success over personal statistics, and this mindset is reflected in how the offense operates. While some have tried to frame his approach as reluctance to run the ball, the reality is that team dynamics, offensive line performance, and play calling all contribute to the overall effectiveness of the run game. Observers watching the games closely can see that Hurts is fully engaged, reading defenses and making calculated decisions designed to maximize outcomes. This kind of leadership and resilience is what keeps the Eagles competitive and demonstrates why Hurts is respected within the team. Meanwhile, the development of players like Robinson is intertwined with team needs and the natural ebb and flow of injuries and rotations. This is a pivotal moment in the season to see whether these younger players can rise to the occasion. They're getting real game experience, not just practice reps, and the team's depth is being tested. If Robinson or other backups can demonstrate skill, awareness, and consistency, it not only helps in the immediate term but also lays the foundation for the team's long-term strategy in building a competitive roster. The Eagles have the talent. Now it's about cohesion, performance under pressure, and making sure that everyone is contributing to a shared goal of success. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments and let's talk birds. Shockwaves are rippling through the NFL as whispers turn into a full-blown frenzy. The Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots are reportedly closing in on a blockbuster trade that could reshape the league. Sources close to the team suggest that Eagles executive Howie Roseman, known for his bold and often unpredictable moves, is behind the audacious deal, sending fans and analysts alike into a whirlwind of speculation. The rumors suggest that both franchises are eyeing a strategic reset, with Philadelphia reportedly looking to bolster its roster with assets that could bring immediate impact, while New England seems poised to acquire pieces that align with Bill Belichick's trademark long-term vision. Insiders are tight-lipped on specifics, but the buzz alone has caused social media to erupt, with analysts dissecting every potential scenario and player involved. Industry insiders hint that this trade could involve star-level talent, sending shockwaves not only through the locker rooms but also through fantasy football leagues nationwide. Some speculate that Roseman's calculated risk-taking is part of a broader strategy to redefine the Eagles' identity, while the Patriots, traditionally cautious in their moves, appear willing to shake things up in pursuit of championship aspiration. The timing of this potential blockbuster has everyone on edge, with rumors suggesting that internal discussions have been intense and highly secretive. Executives are said to have conducted marathon meetings, weighing every possible outcome, while agents and player representatives remain in a frenzy of calls and negotiations. The mere possibility of such a trade has ignited debates on sports shows, podcasts, and online forums, with fans divided over the impact and wisdom of the rumored exchange. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the buzz is impossible to ignore. Could this be the start of a new era for both franchises? Or is it just another speculative whirlwind, destined to fade as quickly as it appeared? One thing is certain, if this trade goes through, Howie Roseman will have sent a message to the entire NFL that the Eagles are unafraid to make waves. And New England may have just unveiled a willingness to gamble big in a league where bold moves often define legacies. The countdown continues, and the NFL world is holding its collective breath. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.